Hi everybody, it's Margaret here with 60 Thank you for joining us today. I hope that you're doing okay wherever you are. This has been an amazing couple of years and we've all taken such good care of ourselves, and I want to talk to you today about some ways that you can use the food that we buy, nutritional food that is just nature's wonder of putting things into our world at times of the year when we really need it. Now, depending of course where you live, your climate may be different, but for those of you in the Western Hemisphere, which is the majority of our 60 sisters, I want to talk to you about, first of all, the importance of buying foods that are in season and eating them, because it's nature's way of telling us this is what we need during this cold weather, and basically what we need to be putting into our bodies to supplement the other things we're doing to stay healthy. I mean, it's become so clear the last couple of years that staying strong, healthy, and or have a strong immune system has been so important. So the Peg Doyle is one of our bloggers and wrote this article on how to get set for a healthy winter with nutritional food. Now, as you're watching this, it may not be winter any longer, but the message is really the same. Buy foods, if you can, that are in season. In the spring, you get all the foods that are going to be right for that time of year and that climate. And the winter, you've got other things that you can select. I know living in Switzerland, it's and probably other parts of the world as well, of course, is that when those things are in season, they are in abundance in the shops, and they're always really less expensive. So when plums are in season in the spring, there are like thousands of plums on sale, and the same with berries and fruits. They aren't available in your region at that time of the year. So tropical climates tend to have like water-filled products, papayas and pineapples and those types of fruits, whereas in our colder climates we might have dried fruit and root vegetables that we've got available for us to eat. So Peg is a nutritionist, and so she wrote this article, and I want to share with you some of the foods that she suggested that we consider eating in the cold winter months. And again, she highlights again that nature knows best. Nature knows what to give us during the time of the year that we need it most. Of course, dealing with a pandemic has actually given us a great deal of insight into what works, but here's a few things that you might want to consider. Some cultures have traditions of healthy eating that kind of blend in with this conversation too. So, for example, Chinese medicine and in India's Ayurvedic medicine. There's a woman actually who just did a workshop I was looking at on Ayurvedic foods as a way of strengthening your immune system. Now, for those of you who know a little bit about Ayurveda, there are things that are pretty much in the common knowledge now, that turmeric, for example, ginger, all the foods in the ginger family, clarified butter, ghee, it's called, to use that. These have ingredients that are really good for our health. Also, a couple of others I've got a note here. Jaggery. I didn't even know what jaggery was, but I think it's almost like a solidified honey. It's a sugar alternative. I think it's a plant. I mean, jaggery must be a plant. I mean, Mother Nature gave us all these incredible plants. Also, tulsi leaves, where they're a plant. I drink tulsi tea. Somebody mentioned to me, several years ago, that it was good for your respiratory system and your immune system. And so I actually do love the taste of tulsi. I think it's also called holy basil. And again, India, places like that have got knowledge about these plants over thousands of years that they've been used in different ways for healthy nutrition. And of course, ginger is an antioxidant, really good for you. I actually often just take a glass full of ginger water, chop up some ginger, put hot water in, a bit of lemon, some honey or jaggery, and just use that as my drink throughout the day. I just make a big pot of it and just keep sipping it throughout the day. That is, for me, just a really healthy drink. And maybe you've got some that you would like to share too. I mean, let's make this interactive. I really feel that's one of the strengths of our 60 community. We're global. We know, we can pull on different traditions and different cultures. So cold weather foods. Let's talk about foods for the cold weather. First of all, as I mentioned, ginger and turmeric are great. Ginger and onions, foods. Garlic is great for you. Again, it's a strong immune builder. I'm going to read my notes here because I'm not a nutritionist myself, but I'm taking Peg's advice here, and I'll read out the ones that she has mentioned. Her article, by the way, will be linked in the section below, so you can look at it in more detail. But onions are great. Garlic is really good, of course, in the winter months. I mean, maybe that's how you always start your pasta dishes or your spaghetti dishes, with those ingredients. Squash, of course, is really good for you. And pumpkins, those pumpkins that we come out in October and they go through the season, and butternut squash, they're all incredibly good for you. And both of those have a lot of vitamin A and magnesium. 750% of your daily requirement in vitamin A is available in these root vegetables like pumpkins, if you have a serving of the pumpkins or the squash. Beets and turnips. Now, beets, anything like red, purple, we know that is good for you. This is what the research has shown. They've got these, I think it's called, I forget the name of the antioxidant, but there's a name for what is in a vegetable that is red. So beets, you can make them in a salad. You can, aubergines, for example. Those kinds of plants are really, really good for you and available during the winter months. They come from deep within the ground. They're ones that, grow up from a dark place, and they are those, what do they call them? Winter vegetables. By the way, I had a soup the other day. It was actually a canned soup, and it was called winter vegetable soup, something like that. And it had turnips and potatoes and carrots, and I think there were some beets in there, but it was just the most delicious, filling. It made my whole body feel like it was like nourished. It was great. So soups, of course, are a great way to get these foods into your body. And there's nothing like the smell, I think, of going into a house with a homemade soup where you put vegetable stock or chicken stock if you're into eating meat, and and just making a beautiful soup. And it can last for days. And just get yourself some lovely crunchy bread or crackers if you don't eat a lot of bread, or gluten-free, and just have soup. And I sometimes sprinkle cheese on the top of mine. I know that's probably adding a bit of unnecessary dairy, but I love dairy. I love cheese. So I put that on top of my lentil soup sometimes, and I really, really love it. Breakfast is another time that you can eat healthy foods, which of course include oats. Oats are really amazing foods, and a lot of the parts of the world, like in Scotland or Finland, the northern countries, where this is like a staple food, recognize it as a winter therapy. I mean, it's nutritional. It's really, really good for you. Oats are really important, I understand, because they release their nutrients over time. So you have it in the morning, and you've got it kind of working for you all day. Fish, of course, is really important for an evening meal. Oily fish like sardines, mackerel, those are the kinds of fish in the winter months that your body really, really loves because of the oils. And as I said, I'm not a nutritionist, so I'm just reading and repeating what I've read and what I've heard and tried. But if anyone out there has got any other suggestions that I'm missing for the winter nutritional foods, please let me know. Vitamin C is another thing to look for in the winter, and those are, of course, in the fruits that you would have to get imported. If you were living in Florida, you'd have it, right there at your doorstep, but sometimes you have to import those kinds of things. But there are other foods, lemons, kiwis, guavas, that have a lot of vitamin C in them, and those are super good for you too. And I think ginger also, the ginger family has vitamin C. So lemons are especially good for you during this time of the year too. There's not always going to be things that are available locally in your region. You have to import a few things. I actually drink a lot of lemon juice. And I also get, what is it called? Apple cider vinegar, which is apple cider from apples, and it's put together in a way that you can mix it with lemon. It makes the most beautiful cold winter evening drink with some honey. Super, super good. Preventing winter illness is really important. We've got this flu, the pandemic, of course, is going on, but we've got generally flu and colds, which have always been with us. And those are the things that we've got to look out for too. And I'd just love to know, what do you do in the winter months to keep healthy with food? I know a lot of us take supplements, and we have to bring some foods in that, that are in supplement form, powders and so on. But what foods like that you can go to the shop and pick off the shelf, and not have to, like plant-based solutions for giving you a strong immune system and helping you during the winter? Now, hopefully by the time you're watching this, you're starting to see buds appear somewhere and spring is on its way with all the fruits that come from that, and fruits and foods that come from that season. But just let's stay for now focused on these colder months. I know that right this moment, there's a big snowstorm in New York, I think, and it's just, or the New York coastline. So let's take care of our bodies, take care of our self-care is super important at this time of our lives. And well, of all time of life, but particularly now, we need to be extra safe and strong. Okay, everybody, well, if you enjoyed this video, please subscribe to the channel so that other women around the world can know about us. And also, if you like this video as a minimum, just give it a like, because again, that boosts the interest on YouTube and it's important to me. So I would really appreciate it. Just press that like thumbs up. Thanks again, everybody, for all your help and support of 60andMe. Lots and lots of love to you. Take good care. Bye for now.